But
when you are in a world where conservatives can say anything.
No, I'm not a conservative.
They can have any conspiracy theory.
I'm not a conservative.
They can have any plot. They can do anything, and then liberals are supposed to sit here and be like, "Oh my God, it's so tragic."
No, Destiny.
Absolutely not.
Let me explain.
Absolutely.
Let me explain my position, because I'm not a conservative. I'm not on either side in your race, right? Here's what I think about what you did. You'd like to fire off, as you've done so far in this debate, about your fury at how disgusting Republicans are, how inhumane they are, how they never have any empathy, blah, 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 blah. And then you yourself actually are exactly the person that you're describing. You are inhuman. You are somebody who seems almost gleeful that a young firefighter with a family, with a wife and children, who he was protecting as he was shot dead, that he deserved what was coming to him because he went to a President Trump rally, a man who was president of the United States until recently for 4 years and maybe again. You sound almost gleeful, Destin, and I'm sorry. That makes you, frankly, despicable.
Ooh, boy. Piers Morgan just checked the Destiny, this deranged leftist, who I believe is very tribal. I believe Destiny is not as informed about politics as he think he is, right? Because he has a very, I would say, narrow view on politics. He only sees politics from his side of the aisle. He doesn't try to go and understand conservatives. The only time I think he tries to play this game of, oh, I'm understanding or I'm logical or I'm objective is when he's on these platforms, when he's trying to gain more followers, like the Jubilees. Those are usually where he performs the best, is because he knows he's not in an audience that's necessarily catered to him. But when he's by himself in his studio or wherever he's at, you see how deranged he really is, right? And to me, I laugh because I always think that Destiny is like the master of straw man arguments. But then when he's debating against someone who is informed about the issues, you think Destiny is very smart if you're not as informed on the issues as he is. He brings up a lot of arguments, and it seems like he's that guy who plays devil advocate a lot. Like, he's just a natural contrarian, right? He likes to criticize. He likes to do all this stuff. He likes to do all this moral grandstanding, and I find it lacking. I find it unsubstantive. How can you be how you can be moralizing against people when you're an atheist? In my view, atheism don't provide any morality. It doesn't have a moral framework. So when you come out and say, oh, principles, this, oh my God, the conservatives can do all this, you're not paying attention. Look at CNN, look at MSNBC. 87% of the news that come out of those news networks are negative. But you're pointing at things where it benefits your narrative. Oh, conservatives, they can say whatever they want. Conservatives have been complaining about them being censored for years. Conservatives get threatened with violence when they go out and publicly speak. Kyle Rittenhouse is my biggest example. Not a single black person was harmed in Kyle Rittenhouse's altercation with BLM protesters, but black people mad, black people threatening violence. I don't hear Destiny calling that out. Destiny likes to talk about January 6th, but I don't see him calling out BLM. And this is the argument that Glenn Greenwald called Destiny out for. You're tribal. You can't apply principles to your opposition if you do not apply those same principles to your own side. And that's my biggest problem with Destiny. But I digress. Piers Morgan's, we're going to continue with this conversation between him and between Destiny and Piers Morgan's, and I'll give my commentary throughout the video. Let's take a look.
I'm sorry. That makes you, frankly, despicable.
I don't think I'm gleeful about anything. I don't think anybody should die. I don't think anybody deserves to die. But you want to talk about gleeful? Look at the conservative response to Pelosi's husband when they broke in.
I can answer that.
Mainstream media figures
I can answer that.
I don't care.
I can answer that.
With all due respect, I don't care what your answer is.
Let me answer that.
The reality is that conservatives have been turning the temperature up on the rhetoric. They
lie, right? And in a way, I can make the argument that conservatives only really reacted to what the left was doing. How many years has it been since, imagine, this is the Democratic Party, this is the left. Every Republican that ever ran in history since George Bush is a racist. That's the labeling. That's how y'all started off with. Then when Trump came in, xenophobia, right? He's an authoritarian. He's going to deport everybody. He's a white supremacist. Then y'all came out 2020, Hitler, Russia agent. Y'all been talking about wanting to hurt and kill Trump for a long time. But you want to blame it on the conservatives. You want to talk about conservatives are the one threatening violence against people. Donald Trump got shot. Wouldn't it justify conservatives rioting in the streets right now? But that didn't happen. Now did it? Now look at the left. If the same situation happened to Biden, you think there'll be no protesting going on? During 2020 election, people was boarding up their businesses because they were in preparation just in case the left lose. The left and the Democrats are the party of, if we don't get our way, someone's going to pay. That's the model of the Democratic Party. That's the rhetoric you guys spew. Return to normal was a hint, hey, if you don't vote for our guy, we can't tell if your business is going to be here tomorrow. Peaceful will mostly fiery protest. That's what the CNN coverage tried to cover up. But you want to pretend that liberals are held to some higher standards than conservatives. This is why I'm talking about the narrow-mindedness, the narrow-mindedness. This guy's not balanced. I think this guy's unwell. I don't know if he's venting. I don't know if he's taking out his personal problems on the rest of the world. But that doesn't excuse your commentary here. And the reason why we think it's gleefully, look at some of the Twitter response. I think I did one on one of my previous videos. He was talking about, I hope they enjoy themselves in hell. And everyone said, oh, no, he's just rage farming. He's just rage baiting. All right, I'm glad he got demonetized. Okay. You was trying to make money off of that hateful rhetoric? Dancing on the grave of a man that went and saved his wife and child. And you think you're on the right side of this, Destiny? This is why I talk about atheists. Atheists don't have no moral framework. If he only care about now he's getting some pushback. Elon Musk just demonetized his stuff. Now he got banned off Kick. He's facing consequences because that's the only thing atheists really respect. Atheists like to make fun of Christian people, religious people. Oh, you need a book to be moral. You need a religion to be moral. Yeah, atheists, and you need violence and a threat of force to be moral. That's the argument for. So who's more moral? Someone who just need pages of paper to be moral, or someone who needs a threat of force and violence to be moral? I'll let you decide that in the comment section, but I'll continue in the video.
They have been making fun of these types of events for years, and now when something happens to them, now they're looking for sympathy.
I think, like I said, it's reactionary. I think conservatives for a long time, they got tired of Antifa, these Antifa types, these protester types, making fun of them, being happy. Remember, your side is being happy about the fact that Donald Trump almost died. How did you miss? You had one job. Those were trending on Twitter. You guys have always been happy about political violence that happened on the right. During the 2020 election, you forgot the Republican congressmen were attacked. Steve Scalise almost got assassinated. Brett Kavanaugh, because he did something y'all didn't agree with, y'all didn't like, there was plans to try to kidnap him and possibly come harm to him, protesting in front of his house because he made a decision that he was put into the judge because the people elected Donald Trump, whether you like it or not, to do. And you're mad about that. Now you want to pretend you're a victim. This is the equivalent of the left throwing the first punch, and when the right finally haymakers them in the face, they want to be like, oh my God, you just hit me for no reason. Instigators. Y'all poke the bear, and then when the right like, nah, I'm not gonna cover for you anymore. You believe in censorship, die by censorship. Now you want me to defend you want me to defend you based on my principles? No, you can't appeal to my principles when you don't equally apply yours. Because the left only shown themselves to only respect consequences. And now you want to sit here and like try to virtue signal. You want to try to act like you're moral on this? Hell no.
Sympathy from the liberal side? Absolutely not. It's insane. It's unhinged that you can conduct yourself in such a manner and expect people to feel sorry when things happen.
Why should anybody on the right listen to a word of your hectoring and lecturing about how they should behave? And by the way, for the record, the mockery of Nancy Pelosi's husband when he was attacked by an intruder with a hammer was also despicable, right? I can see despicable behavior on all sides, and I'm happy to call it out when I see it. You, however, want to present yourself as this great kind of standard bearer of decency who sees outrageous behavior on the right time and again and is incensed by this disgusting, inhumane behavior. And yet time and again, since the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you have displayed exactly the same kind of inhumane behavior. Fuck him about a fireman who is killed because he attends a rally of a guy he wants to vote for.
My issue with the MAGA kids is not that they are not empathetic. My issue is that they support a president that led an insurrection against the United States.
And I can say the same thing about the Democratic Party. When Trump went out and said, hey, we need the National Guard. Chaz, you remember Chaz at Destiny? Destiny likes to pigeonhole stuff. This is why he needs someone to check him. Because end of the day, if Destiny sits here ramble by himself, he's spreading misinformation, right? He's talking about insurrection with no arms, like no one got hurt, right? So if you want to call January 6th an insurrection, what is BLM? Within 14 days, 25 people died in BLM. Look at the property damage that BLM was able to do. You forgot Chaz, the autonomous zone, where it was lawless, crime was happening at a rapid rate. People were dying because they wouldn't allow ambulance to go through that zone. How is that? Isn't Chaz more of an insurrection than what happened in January 6th? January 6th, I can concede it was a riot. I can concede that. But the autonomous zone wasn't an insurrection where literally you created a zone where no government was allowed. No government. Police couldn't police the area. Nothing. That wasn't insurrection, Destiny? Blinders. Only looking to criticize the right. No, don't care about holding his own side consistent to his values, his morality. Because like an atheist, he only chases pleasure, not pain. It's painful to criticize your own side, right, Destiny? It's more pleasurable to moralize and grandstand against your opposition. But then when your opposition points out, hey, look at the things on your side, and you're like, it's you. Because it's painful to criticize your own side. It's painful to be reflective on your hypocrisy, on your double standards. Want to sit here grandstanding. Ask not what a good man is, be one. You don't get to grandstand on somebody. Oh, you guys laughed at Nancy Pelosi. Now I'm gonna do it too. And I think many people on the conservative right actually criticize them. Many mainstream conservatives, because he didn't say Charlie Kirk said anything. He's talking about these like commenters, those Nick Fuentes guys, and then he take their comments and then he applies it to the mainstream conservative movement. Straw man argument, straw man master. That's Destiny's motto. The straw man master. I digress.
I'm not here to tone police over their empathy.
80 million people voted for Donald Trump last time around.
That's great. 80 million people voted for a guy that tried to insurrect the government, and it looks like they might try to do it again. I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to say.
That's not a fact, but that's your assumptions. That's a subjective view. It's not nothing's objective about anything you said there. And you can't say he's an insurrectionist when he wasn't charged with insurrection. Look at this idiot. That's like accusing someone of, hey, you're a sexual predator. Has he ever been convicted of that? No, but I think he is. Therefore, he is. Like, no, this is not how reality works. Liberal projection over here. This is not how it works. You don't get to cast something and then you expect people to just believe you.
These are the facts on the ground. The idea that
you don't like attacks on democracy. So presumably you would unreservedly condemn the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, because that's one of the most egregious attacks on American democracy of modern times. Presumably, you will take this opportunity, given you are so determined to protect the integrity of democracy, you would find it absolutely outrageous that someone has tried to assassinate a president, right?
Words, actions, not words. Deeds, right? Not words. That's what they're not about that. Like they like to say all the good stuff, but then when it's time to apply that, they don't. They fall short. They want you to pay attention to, oh, look, I said this, I denounced these statements. And then in their actions, they continue doing those statements. This is the left. This is the guy that is, oh my God, he's so objective. Oh, this is the guy that he was paraded around on all the right-wing channels, on Tim Pool's podcast. Right? Oh yeah, I think Destiny's reasonable. He don't look reasonable here. Now, I know a lot of life hit him in between. I remember he used to ish on people who say, hey, yo, your open marriage is not going to work. The stats are against you. Then he tried to pretend that he was some special human being saying, oh, no, I accounted for all the variables and this is going to work out. And then his wife left him for another man. But he wants to ish on people who believe in Trump. I don't get this guy. I don't get this guy at all. And I know his fans. I heard his fans has a bad reputation online, but hey, I don't give a damn. He's wrong here. He's not applying his principles or the values he claims to espouse equally. He's very tribal. He's a tribalist. That's what Destiny is. And he frames to act like more of a centrist when he's trying to cater more people into his platform. But when he doesn't have that incentive, when he doesn't have that motive, this is who he truly is. That's an assumption on my part.
Right?
If the other conservatives on this show want to say that it was absolutely outrageous that Donald Trump attempted to coup the government,
I'm asking you.
Then maybe I would. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get on my knees and beg for forgiveness or show sympathy to conservatives.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking you to condemn what happened as an egregious attack on democracy. Can you do that?
No, I won't. No, I won't.
You can't do that. You see, so why the hell, frankly, Destiny,
absolutely not.
Why the hell should we listen to a word you have to say?
See, this is one of the reasons why I'm a conservative as well. Because as a liberal, they think, oh no, my consent is all that matters. I don't consent to be a part of this society. I don't consent to this. I don't consent to that. Everything's about me. If I don't feel like I need to condemn, I don't need to condemn it. If I feel like I want to unequally apply my standards on people, I can do it. Because there's no pressure, there's no duty, there's no responsibility or accountability for your autonomy. And then when he gets demonetized, when he gets banned from Kick, he's going to cry foul. Destiny, you need to get off the line, bro.
Wait, hold on. Why do you think conservatives haven't been listening to a word that liberals have said about anything for 8 years?
Right,
what do you think is going to change? Do you think if liberals come out now and they go, oh my God, this was so horrible,
here's
they're
my
going to go,
point.
wow, that is true. Maybe that's why we should also like
Charlie, I'll bring you in at the end of this, I promise you, and you'll get a good chance to respond. But here's my problem, Destiny, with your whole position on this, right? Is that you don't actually have anything inside you that you want the other side to have. You don't have any of the empathy. You don't have any sympathy. You don't care that someone tried to assassinate Donald Trump. You don't care that a young fireman with a family was killed in the process. You don't actually. You are not the person you want these other people to be. And all you do is play whataboutery with every question I give you.
Exactly. That's his only defense. And then he projects that onto the other side, saying, oh no, conservatives always troop about whataboutism. No, you're projecting. You do it. Like treat others how you want to be treated. So you want the conservatives to treat it like you get the energy you give out. If you want a thoughtful, logical conversation, you give a thoughtful, logical conversation. At least that's how I try to portray myself. But this is like ramblings of a madman. You want to hold people to a standard that you don't even want to apply out. Like it's typical atheist. I want my wife to be religious. I want the society to be religious, but I can be atheist. Because if my wife wasn't religious, she may cuck me, aka cheat on me like Destiny's wife did on him, right? My lawyer may scam me because they understand the moral point of it, the obligation, the duty and responsibility. But atheists and many people on the left who happen to be atheists, they don't see no moral obligation to anyone else in the society, only what benefits them. If it's beneficial for him to push out a more centrist message, you see him on other platforms. That's why I say he's disingenuous. I don't trust this guy. When he's on Jubilee, he changed his message to be more like catering to centrists. When he's by himself, that's who he truly is. Framing conservatives as fascists, all this stuff, Hitler, even though Hitler was a socialist. Again, not looking at his side, he want to try to cast and demonize the other side as devils. Oh, I didn't want to do this, but I had to because the injustice wasn't enough. And then the Democrats Party wonder why young men are trending away from them. I digress. Let's finish off the video.
And I'm just startled.
What about it? We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the temperature of this country. But here's a question for the two panelists. What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric? What do they think the answer to that question is?
What percentage could it be that the other side, as we've just heard from Dave Rubin, has spent 8 years calling Donald Trump the new Adolf Hitler, a person who was responsible for the murder of 12 million people, including 6 million Jewish people in a Holocaust. Last time I checked, Donald Trump hasn't murdered 12 million people. So much as you would like him to be the new Hitler, he's not. But again, to an impressionable young deranged mind who has easy access to guns, that can be easily interpreted as an existential threat, said President Biden. Somebody that needs to be put in the bullseye, said Biden.
Okay,
only last week. And guess what? Somebody then comes forward and tries to kill the existential threat.
Democrats. Democrats are engaged in more divisive rhetoric. They always have been. Look at the history throughout any time period. Tell me, I can't even go before Trump. Look how the Democrats go at the Republicans. Hell, since the founding of the Republican Party, Democrats have been using divisive rhetoric. The first black president, Abraham Lincoln, that's what they put. Calling Abraham Lincoln a Negro lover. The Democrats are it's in their ethos. They've been doing this since the beginnings of their party. Since the Republican Party came into existence, the Democrats have been using divisive language. Depending on where society's at, they try to label the opposition as the worst possible thing in the society. Right now, it's Nazism and all this stuff, fascism. But you practicing the same tactics, and then you want to sit here and pretend. This is what happens when you're not properly informed about the issues. This is why I say don't listen, don't blindly trust me. Just be like, hey, that's his view, that's his opinion. I see some validity in that, but I'm not sure about this. Let me do some research on that. Do your own research, bro. Have a skeptical mind. Because you can easily get influenced by someone like him who using all this emotional rhetoric, trying to pretend that his side does no wrong. Oh my God, we don't do anything wrong. That's a lie. I digress. I'm baffled. And then you got people out here still trying to defend him. I'm not going to defend this guy, bro. I don't care. If that happened to Biden, I'm like, no. Biden got to lose the right way. Y'all can't be taking out Biden like that. But y'all still going to spin those comments. You're going to be like, nah, you want Biden because you know Trump can beat Biden. That's why you care for Biden. Y'all going to try to make it into something about my own personal interest instead of me saying, no, I'm following a principle, a code that I live by, that I want others to live by, right? I want people to treat me with respect, so I treat others with respect. I want someone to give me a rational, logical, specific reasons for their thoughts. I expect the same. But you can't go slander and demonize the side and then you expect the other side to abide by their principles and not hit you back. Because there's only so long someone can be patient with that kind of one-way abuse. And that's what the Democrats love. That's what leftists love. That's what liberals love. They got so used to one-way aggression, one-way rhetoric, that when it came back at them, now they mad. The same tactics they slandered the right with, now they're getting some of that taste back. They perpetuated in cancel culture. Now you got many on the right who saying, F it. These people don't abide by their own standards. They say racially charged stuff. They don't get fired. F it. We got to point out their hypocrisy. They have to live by their own standards. And then now we put cancel culture back in your face. Now you're saying, oh, look, conservatives are part of cancel culture now. No, we just got tired of defending your right to speak because you don't defend our right to speak. That's the argument. It's a two-way street is what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you believe that Destiny's commentary here was disgusting? Do you agree with Piers Morgan is that Destiny has no grounds to really chastise the other side when he's perpetuating the same rhetoric that he claims to demonize? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.